What's up and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be going over tightening up a handbrake on a Chevy HHR, as well as a few improvements to the subwoofer I installed in last episode, as well as, I hate to say it, improving my wiring for my amp. It's too small a gauge. Let's go. Alright, so what I've done for the actual subwoofer, every subwoofer box will have relief holes so that the air can come out of the subwoofer box if needed, and I didn't have that here, and so what I actually did was I filled in the bottom. I'm not gonna say it's a super stellar job. Actually, I really don't like the way it looks, but some foam and some black caulking. Not super professional, but it works kind of. There was a hole, so I filled it. So since I filled that, decided to drill these kind of relief holes over here and over here, and it actually works out really well. Alright, so I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for saying this, but the ground wire that I used for my amp to my battery here is extremely low, and I need to replace it because it continuously overheats and stops working. So definitely have a way bigger gauge than needed, but overkill's never bad when you're grounding something out. It's also red, but that's all I got, so here we go. Overall, it's a pretty good, clean install. Wire in question is the big red one on top, going all the way back behind the battery down to this grounding over here to the left. Overall, pretty happy with it. Can't complain. Up next is handbrake. If you need to adjust it, all you need to do is come back here to the back cup holder, pull up, and then kind of pull up in the front. Being that this stuff is made out of Fisher-Price plastic, it's really easy to pull up and out of the way. Then what you want to do is you want to take your handbrake and put it down. Sure you're in gear so your car doesn't roll away. And the thing in question is this little bolt right down in here. See how loose that is? We just want to tighten that up. That's it. Can you see the perspiration on my face? This Austin, Texas heat is too much. I just jumped into the front seat and I'm going to test out the lever to make sure it feels pretty good compared to what it was. And to me, that feels pretty good. I still want to have a little bit of movement here, but definitely a lot tighter than it was before, and I'm pretty happy with the result. All I gotta do now is put this piece of plastic back on, and I'll be done. So that pretty much wraps up the subwoofer kind of stuff and my e-brake. They both work great now. Pretty happy with the result, and I'm glad you guys were able to watch this. If you guys would care to see any other general maintenance kind of stuff on an HHR, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And right now I wanted to kind of start an open discussion with you guys and see what you guys like to watch on YouTube, specifically automotive. I personally watch a ton of them. I can think of right off the bat Jim. He's got some really cool builds. Tavares, obviously a staple. Hoover, Hoovy's Garage, the dumbest YouTube channel in all of YouTube. Really cool to see all these guys. Obviously Cletus McFarland. Really cool to see all these guys over the years really grow into what they are today, and to really see how far they can take their YouTube career. But at the same time, it's interesting to think that their careers are based on something that they're basically out of control of, like the algorithms on YouTube or ad revenue or anything like that. You know, there's been times on YouTube, like for me a couple weeks ago, I noticed that all of these staples, that dude in blue, I would go to their channel and I would be unsubscribed from them. And I didn't do anything. So, very interesting stuff like that. If you think about it, Doug DeMuro was talking about this on the Smoking Tire podcast not too long ago. Sorry if it's a little shaky. He was saying that, like, he gets nervous. He doesn't know when this kind of stuff is going to end, when it's not going to be successful anymore. He is legit concerned about that thing, and he just plays it day by day kind of thing. So it's very interesting to know that you can be successful and you can have a good time doing what you love and make great money doing it, but knowing that ultimately you're really not in control of anything. You have the ability to make the money, but you don't have the ability to say, give yourself a raise or anything like that, like Matt Farah was saying. So I never thought about it in a way like that. Obviously, I just make YouTube videos for fun. I don't really see myself making any kind of crazy career out of this, because it takes a lot of work and dedication and, quite frankly, money. And it's money that I don't really have to be spending on making content that I enjoy, as well as you guys like to watch. If you guys do have any ideas for kind of new content that doesn't require me buying things, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Really happy with the car overall. I have a check engine light. Wow, Landon. What a surprise, right? It's for a low voltage to my mass airflow sensor, which is odd. I'm thinking that there's maybe like a break in the wiring or something like that. Anyways, the saga continues. There's always something. But yeah, this car doesn't leak any oil. I just noticed that the other day. I'm like, wow, this car really doesn't leak at all anything. And this is like one of the first cars I've ever owned that's been like that. So that's pretty cool for me. Just wanted to kind of see where you guys were at and see what interested you guys. I know that one of my videos was somewhat successful for me anyways, and that was the Y&H HRSS. Maybe I could do another video like that with another car. At the moment, I don't have like a ton of access to a bunch of different cars, but I'm sure I could put the feelers out there and see what's what. But overall, I think that people in YouTube have quite a predicament. I mean, anyone can start a YouTube channel, but not anyone can be super successful at it. And I want to know what you guys think about what it takes for someone to actually be super successful on YouTube. I think, in my opinion, it has to be uploading regularly, having decent content, but also not boxing yourself in with a certain type of content. I think you can have success with specific content, but you can only go so far with it. And I think diversifying yourself in YouTube is really a smart move to make. For instance, Doug DeMuro, he obviously has his channel with 3.5 million subs, but he also started Doug DeMuro 2, and you can watch other videos like house reviews and just general more information and other things that aren't related to reviewing a car's quirks and features, which is really smart of him. Also, I think that you have to have a personality that really goes hand in hand with what you're doing, specifically automotive like we're talking about, and you have to be somewhat of a people person. Obviously YouTubers just talk to a camera all day and they don't have to be in front of people. But say you do go to a car show or people see you in the street, whatever it is, you have to have some type of people skills and enjoy what you do and enjoy people, because ultimately those people are what make you successful here on YouTube. I think it's interesting how some people can be good on YouTube and then terrible in real life. And those are the people that kind of struggle, I think, in YouTube. They aren't as successful as others. Pretty interesting thing to think about if you really look at different YouTubers. Another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is the concept of electric trucks. Now, the brand new 2021 Ford F-150 just dropped, and I haven't actually seen the hybrid or plug-in or electric version of it. I believe that's actually coming out tonight. The Rivian, all the other truck startups that are coming out. Lordstown, weird name, but a truck is supposed to be a tool. You've heard this talked about on TFL Now, or TFL Truck, and they talk about how it needs to be useful, and people use their trucks for work and towing and putting stuff in the back. Electric cars are great, but at the same time, if you hook a trailer up to this thing, it's going to deplete that battery twice, 3 times as fast, just doing the same task of driving down the road. So it's very interesting to me how all these companies are trying to come out with new trucks that are electric. I don't see the gap being filled where they will be successful at towing and doing work and being efficient with their battery enough so that it's actually usable for a couple hundred miles at least. You know, what construction worker is going to want to go out there and buy an electric truck and not be able to drive it around town, be scared of going to Home Depot again because his truck might run out of battery towing this 20-foot car trailer or work trailer, whatever. So it's definitely interesting to see how that's going to pan out. Obviously, I think Tesla has a little bit of an edge up against the other guys in terms of charging network. I think that's really appealing for a lot of people. Supercharging, 30 minutes and you're done. I think that will have a bigger appeal, even though the truck is very polarizing to look at. Some people like it, some people don't. You know, and the fact that it's going to be bulletproof and have a stainless steel body, unneeded but cool. I think that that's going to appeal to a certain amount of people, and that's it. Resale, I don't know how that's going to work. Speaking of Tesla, I live here in Austin, Texas. With everything going on with COVID-19 and things like that, Tesla is going to be moving out of California, out of the Fremont factory where I used to work. And a couple of the places that they were considering were Texas, Utah. They really narrowed it down to Texas, Houston, and Austin, and then they narrowed it down to specifically Austin. I have seen and been trying to keep up with news on that specifically, and it really seems like they're going to try to push and move forward with building a factory here and having it done by 2021. I think that they're trying to acquire a piece of land down by our airport down south, and they are going to try and start building a factory on there ASAP as soon as the current tenants, I think, move out and off and away from that. I'm trying to keep the camera still while I slow down because my wheels are trash. Anyways, if that's the case, I heard that they're going to try to build the Tesla Model Y here, as well as the Tesla Cybertruck, which would be pretty stinking cool. If you guys have any insight into that as well, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments below. But I'll probably put up a poll to see what you guys think about the electric truck situation in general, and what your take is on if it's going to be practical, not practical. Obviously, they're going to be pretty stinking expensive, but what truck isn't these days? Even a stinking Chevy Colorado ZR2 with the diesel is like pushing, what, almost 50? It's like 40 something, 45, 47, fully loaded. Absolutely absurd. One more thing I wanted to bring up with you guys is the fact of COVID-19 and what you guys feel like it's doing for the car culture, car enthusiasts in general. Is it good? Is it bad? Obviously, new car sales are kind of a hit or a miss, so to speak. I know some companies that are doing really well right now, some that aren't. Also, what you think of, like track days being closed down, car events being shut, it definitely takes a toll on what you can and can't do, and your freedoms have definitely been taken away. Very weird times we live in. Well, that is the end of the video. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that was thought-provoking for you guys and interesting and informative to a degree. I definitely think that it's worth talking about, and maybe it encouraged you to talk about it with your friends or make a video yourself. I'll see you guys in the next video.